Yes. Are we ready to dig in deep once more? Of course we are. Yes, yes, yes. We are ready to dig in. Are you ready to dig in? Of course we are. So let's just do it. But before we do, let's call on the 14 gods of Genesis, that which we are. We are the embodiment of those gods, the created God, the God of creation, the God of causation, the God of calling, the God of movement, the God of makings, and the God of endings, the God of division, the God of formation and blessings, and the God of breath, and the God of division. The God of division is very active now. The God of soaring, and the God of settings, and the God of sayings. Yes. So I feel I have mentioned the 14 gods, and we are calling on, okay, the high priest, Aaron the high priest. Now, I hope you have checked out or get the vibes of Aaron the high priest. We are talking about the high priest who actually, okay, we say actually, who was with Moses, the high priest, with the children of Israel from Egypt to Canaan. All right, so we are talking about entering into the promised land, the land of milk and honey, which I have done a numerical value on this, and Aaron is saying, go ahead, milk and honey. But do we have to do milk and honey right now, Aaron, please? Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We are working with the high priest. So, milk and honey. We certainly are not feeling the milk and honey right now. So, MILK and honey, HONEY. Okay, my honey. All right. So it's 4932. Adding this together, this is 14, 18. Okay, 18. Is that correct? This is 12, 13, 16, 17, 18. That's correct. So then we have 8, 6, 5, 5, 7. Okay, so this is 16, 24, 31. 31, that which is 4. Adding this together, of course, if we add 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus this is very interesting. 9 plus 4 is 13. And of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 13, THIRTEEN, well, is 9. So Aaron is really asking, well, what do we make out? What do we make of this? Well, milk and honey, that's what was promised to the children of Israel. Now, we've never had this as a real combination, I don't think. It has not been popular as a food for us, but of course, it would seem that the thing that was maybe the food of the day or of that time. So we have 9, and we have, of course, we can see 18 is like 1 to 8, and it's no wonder it said, like, things happen with the number 8. As we see, it is a template. So you start from 1 to a template, and when you break off the template, you birth into something new, and that's what 9 is. Now, okay, so Aaron is reminding me, so it's like a child. A child has everything that it could need when it's birthed out of the womb. From um, basically, it's like from 1 to 8, all the nutritional values necessary is in the milk, and it gets birthed, it births into life. Okay. And honey, of course, which is 31. So honey is like, in this sense, is like a cycle. We have the number 4, which is like the 4 pillars, the 4 seasons, the 4 gospels, the 4 elements, the 4, I'm sure there are much more elements, but we are talking about earth, wind, fire, and air. Um, I don't know, wind must be air. So I probably have missed something as water. Okay, so we are talking about the it's like being birthed with milk or getting all this nutritional value, and then you have this foundation. So perhaps, yes, we can understand, yes, why the children of Israel would have found it very exciting to hear about milk and honey. So in milk and honey, of course, it's 13. We see 13 is 9, but Isn't that what we have been seeing throughout the series of presentations we have doing with the number 13? The number 13 is actually, it's like the incubator, and that's why the children of Israel was also crying and moaning and doing everything else, because it's like they were in a tube. They were going towards a place they hadn't been before. It was going, they were on a journey, and that journey was trying them, and they were being given commands. They were not, for many of them, not feeling as free as they felt that they were in Egypt. And so they felt like they were crying and saying, oh, have you brought us here in the wilderness to so that we could die? It is best that we had died in Egypt. And there were so many things. Okay, and Aaron is really reminding us that in some way this is what a lot of people are going through right now. And so it's like with all this COVID-19, it's like it'd be interesting. Well, COVID-19, I think, of course, we have 19. So, okay, Aaron is saying, just do it. Just do the presentation. Just do it. Okay, so milk and honey, we'll just have um is 18, which equals 9, and honey, let's just do this, equals honey was 9, was it? 4, 31 and 4. Okay, so and it's saying do COVID-19. Of course, 19 is already 10, and we have 3, 6, 4, 9, 4. Okay, so this is 10, 19, 23, 26. So it's like, okay, I can see why. So COVID is like a god unto itself, because 2 plus 6 is 8. Is 8. And that's why Aaron is saying, can you see? That's why I am showing you. I'm telling you to do this, do the figures. So 1 plus 8 here, 10 is 1 plus 8 is 9. So we see this is what we were talking about. If we did 13, we see how 13 becomes 9, and we can see the correlation right here as well. So I'm asking Aaron, well, how does that really compare with the children of Israel, with COVID-19 and, 13 and milk and honey and so on? And really, basically, what sense are we meant to make out of this? And really saying, well, you have talked quite a bit about 13 as an incubator, and it really is an incubator. It is the death card, as we have seen in the tarot deck. It's the death card, and it's 1 plus 4. So basically, on the, again, showing on the sacrifice template, it comes into this column here as the bucket or the basket, like where Jesus Christ was having feeding a multitude, or where he was having the Last Supper, because we are talking about sacrifice. So he's saying, well, yeah, but the bee, of course, it's the same way I have showed the bee to be it's not to be, to be where it's like the vault, or the it's as if that it really comes as the scenario. This is what Aaron is saying. There was a part where some of the people were mourning on the journey to the promised land, and God had called how many of the elders or people who were maybe 250 or so of them, and really to stand around and call these people and gather them together and so on. And God just had the earth to open up and swallow them up. And in some way, this is exactly what a lot of people are going through right now. So it's like the earth is swallowing a degree of people as well. It's like, and it's not to say that, okay, for whatever reason, whether the earth is also now not, or God or the earth or Mother Earth is not too pleased with how we have and it's not even a question of please or not please. This is the time of regeneration. This is what Aaron is saying. It's regeneration. The earth needs to regenerate itself. And so there is like a genocide is happening, and it's like a cleansing is happening. And this is what it is important for us to accept. We may not like it in the way it is being done, but it is also divine intervention to some extent. It is said to some extent. I'm asking him, well, so Aaron, well, what do you mean to some extent? It either is or it isn't, but to some extent is that reminding us that he's saying, because you need to remember that you are co-creators. It's just like remember, and he's saying remember. Everything seems to be remember. Remember, like when Adam and Eve were given or Adam, they was said to be in the garden and to dress the garden. So they were given this job to dress the garden, and so we are co-creators. We are meant to be doing things, dressing the garden. The garden is the earth, and the garden is ourselves. So we have to, our job is to dress the earth. And by dressing the earth, is saying, yeah, it's also to heal it. It's dressing is also saying it is healing. Wow. So basically, okay, so okay, I'm hearing this, Aaron. So basically that when Adam and Eve were in the garden to say that they had to dress it, so it also meant that it was possible that there were certain things that they really needed to put right with the garden. They needed to put certain things right with it. Okay, so he's saying, well, you get it, because everything had its polarities even from the onset. So even what we think, okay, it's perfect, perfect doesn't mean that it doesn't have the things, the negative and the positive, because that's what makes it perfect. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, well, not in that way. Of course, I suppose I have looked at it in some other way. Okay, so this is what Aaron is really saying, that we need to be we really need to examine these qualities of ourselves, that or the gifts that we have been given, to understand how we can use those gifts to dress the garden. Okay, so we looked at sacrifice and we looked at COVID-19. And of course, because we are looking at numerology, so we see that adding this together, the 9 plus 4 gives us 13. When we do 13 in numerical terms, here this gives us 9, which coincides with the sacrifice template, numbers 1 to 9. So this is saying basically that COVID-19 is no wonder it's a god unto itself. Whatever it is that it consists or constitutes, it is a god unto itself. But this needs to break. It's like you, and that's why it also carries the word break. It's like a breakout. There's a breakout, and I think we did the word break before. BREAK, and it's 29512. Adding this together, this is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So exactly 19 is the whole cycle, the whole cycle of the, like we have COVID is, so break. So we see COVID is 28, but we have 19. So it's like COVID break, a breakout in COVID. So we can see how the numerical values are really showing very well. Okay, so yeah, so basically, yeah, Aaron is really reminding us all these things are the correlation is very strong with the journey of the children of Israel and going into the promised land. So it's just like the word Exodus. He says to me, check out the word Exodus, which we may have done before, but he says, check it out. And I'm doing this, and he says, okay. So it's 5, 6, 4, 3, 1. Adding this together, this is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, okay, 5, Yeah, so it's 19. So he's really showing us again that 19, and so we see a theme is happening right here with all this that we are doing here. And this is the wonderful thing. We have to thank Aaron for really showing us there. Let's dig in. Let's dig in into this because it's very delicious. We see everything here. So COVID-19, COVID is 8, and just like Moses was 8, and we see Moses had a speech impediment. So basically, he started, he couldn't really speak, and isn't that okay? I get it, I get it, I get it. Because Aaron is saying, okay, you get it, so you getting it, you getting it. I'm saying, yes, I get it. So he is really saying, now you can see the correlation better, because Moses could not speak well. He could not, he stuttered. And Aaron is really saying that Moses equaled 8. Of course, when Mother Eve and Adam ate as well, when they ate, of course, with the mouth, having something in their mouth, whenever you have something in your mouth or you eat, basically, it's your mouth is occupied. So basically, you can't speak while you were eating. There is no clarity in that. So basically, it's something that goes. It's like it's going within, or it's the mouth is just full or occupied with whatever it is that you're eating. And so Aaron is really saying, okay, so you see the 26, which is also, it is the God number, and it's also like Abraham as well. And no wonder this is like, all these are really relating to each other, because Abraham, it's almost like he had no say when his wife said to him, okay, I think you should have my maid Hagar, so you can conceive the child that is promised to us. So but he just went along with it, not really saying, well, no, I don't think so or not, but he just went along with it. So the with 8, it's like you have to it's like you are meant to go through a cycle where you need to break out of this. As we have seen, the number break, the word for break is 1 to 9. It's like it really says that a whole cycle has to be completed here. So we don't know how long this cycle is going to last with us, but there we go. Okay, Aaron is going reminded me of the point. So the mouth, when Moses had, well, he couldn't speak. So Aaron, the high priest, was Moses's mouthpiece, which was 22, which is really 4, like here, for instance, and 4. So 4. 2 plus 2, whether it was 22 or 2020 or so, or 4111, it's the same thing. But he was Moses's mouthpiece. And so we can see again how the two aspects of the mouth, it's like one is internal, one is external. Aaron is able to speak, and Moses is not able to speak, but it's about the mouth. And we see that is what is happening with the COVID-19. It's about the mouth. The mouth now actually equals 5, and 5 is in the middle of numbers 1 to 9. And mouth is representing new. And so basically here, the mouth is representing you, and if your mouth is covered, it's as if you are likely to choke. This is what he's saying. You are likely to choke because you are not chewing properly, you are not swallowing properly, you're not speaking properly. You can really trip, like Moses was tripping on his words. So he's saying this is the connection we really need to make with what is happening. So then we'll understand that the journey of the COVID-19 is very much like the journey of children from Egypt going to Israel, because it's a new people that is meant to develop or meant to come about. It's a new people, and of course, so I'm getting something that is like, wow. So, is it going to take us the 40 years? Or is it going to take us? And he says, okay, so remember, and he's saying, remember that we were meant to have this journey in 2 weeks or 14 days. So there's the thing about 14 days as well. And I'm thinking, yeah, he says that was meant to be 14 days. This is where he says everything is about 14 days. And isn't it 14 days that we need to, that now we are required to be in quarantine or quarantine when we have or when people have this? Not, I'm taking myself out of the equation on that one. So when people are in quarantine, they are required to be in quarantine for 14 days. And this is really, again, he's saying this is like the children of Israel going through to the land of Egypt, from Egypt to the land of Canaan. So we can see the correlations are happening here. So COVID is really about the we are being, oh, it's like he's saying you're supposed to get the okay, okay, it's like it gives me a term for the COVID, but I'm not getting it very clear now, in the sense of okay, it's like it means something, that it means something. It just represents something. He's saying, okay, so we'll go back to this. So so it's a breakout, and he says, remember as well that Miriam too who had the leprosy, and there was a breakout for 7 days, and I'm not sure if they had to wait another 7 days or something, but he's saying the number seven is very important to note in that story as well, because seven, when we do the numerical value for seven, it equals 20, and of course 20 is gives us 8 as well, and 20 is that which we are in 2020. He's giving us all these correlations here. So the Exodus is 19, and he's saying it's like we are on a long or huge sacrifice. And he's saying that sacrifice that we think that Christ did, but no, everybody is really meant to be on their own, doing that sacrifice. It's like um, we are required to do. It's a little bit like carrying your own cross. So Aaron is really reminding us that we need to make our own sacrifices. We need to be prepared to make that sacrifice, because we are on an exodus. This is what he's saying. We are on an exodus. And this exodus is like some people will die on the journey. It's like we have jumped ship, but a lot of people are dying on this journey because they were not prepared. They were not prepared for the journey. He reminds me as well about Christ with the parable about the 5 virgins with the oil, and 5 foolish and 5 wise, and 5 without oil and 5 with oil were waiting for the bridegroom, and so on. And basically the 5 foolish ones were not able to really enter the whatever it was, the feast or whatever it is, but they were foolish, so they couldn't really benefit from that. So he's saying this is what has happened. A lot of people are unprepared, and this is why he's saying get up and smell the moringa. He said, get up and smell the moringa. And he's saying, moringa, moringa, moringa. It's almost like a song. He's going, moringa, moringa, moringa. Get up and smell the moringa. Okay, it's like I'm getting a jingle right here. But moringa, he says, okay, check it out online and see, because it's one of the things that can really sustain your immunity right now. And basically, I'm feeling that, yeah, um, we have been given quite a nice scope about this milk and honey that was going to be given to us. So it's milk and honey, but not everybody likes milk and honey, I suppose. And some people are not really prepared for milk and honey, which is here. This is a 13, because the 13, number 13 is like a tube. It's like an incubator. When the child is just newly born, it's in an incubator. You don't know what um, is done to your child in that incubator. anything could happen. The midwife they could inject it, they could do any sort of thing, but is that of course, if your immune system is really strong as a mother, as well as a mother, if your immune system is strong, then your child is very likely to withstand whatever it faces as well, and basically and live to really enjoy the milk and honey. And so we see that number 13, and this is why. Okay, and Aaron is reminding me as well. This is why in the Bible, when it is said, and God created man in his own image and likeness, and he said in his he in his own image and likeness he created him. So the word he, so he created. Okay, we're going to take this off, and we just hope that all this really okay. So Aaron is saying, don't worry if you don't get all the numbers the way you think you ought to. Just take the message, and because the fifth dimension we are on, everything is going to it's like you are reprogramming your mind, and so the software or the information will just be present for you when you need it. So it's okay. So he created him, and he's reminding us is that no matter what it is that is in the scriptures, everything is there for a purpose. So don't take it lightly. So it's 8, 5 and 8, 9, 4. So adding this together, this is 17, 21. So this is 21 and this is 13. And so we see that if we did 13, we know 13 would be 9. And if we did 21, because 20 is 8 and 1 is 7, so this would give us 15, so this would be 6. So we can see this would be 9, 6, basically, and this is 15. So can we see what has happened here? So we have, if we did 13 in word form, which I'm not going to write it now, it gives us 9. If we did 21 in word form, it gives us 6, which would mean it would be 15. So him is really like in the middle, we could say. So it's 21, has that free vibration that sets things into motion, and 13, of course. So he had him. So it's in the incubator, but it has the vibration to really make things happen, to come alive, I suppose we could say. And then he created he, which is again 8, 5. But this is 13, and 13 is 9, and he created them. So 2, 8, 5, 4. Adding this together, this is 19. There's a lot of 19, isn't it, today? Okay, so here 1 plus 9 is 10. If we add this together, 9 plus 1 is 10. And this coincides perfectly when Mother Eve says, let there be light. The word let, the first word Mother Eve utters as let, L-E-T, okay, L-E-T, is 3, 5, 2 equals 10. So we see 10 also equals 12 in word form. So we can see right here that this is all the creation. We see them. We have he. This coincides perfectly with what we have just done, COVID-19. In fact, COVID was 8, and we have 19, and we have he, and we have him. So let's just look at this. But there's the similarity here, because 9 is actually the letter I. The letter I equals 9. But also the word I. The word I, which is E-Y-E, is 575. So this gives us 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So we can see that these are interchange. 9 and 8 is interchange. And it's really meaning the same. I is I. So basically, we can see here that this still correlates with what has been designed as COVID-19. We could see that everything, this is what, okay, Aaron is saying that everything that we are going through is really, it's like it's modeled on the scriptures. It is modeled on the scriptures. And we are the ones, we need to really understand this numerical language so we can begin to deconstruct what is happening and to know which side of the hand we are dealing on. For instance, it's like our palm, the palms of our hands. You could have something in here or you can have something on here. It is basically flip sides of the same coin, but we need to be knowing which side of the coin that we are resting on or we are being on. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. Let us give thanks to the gods and of course with the high priest Aaron, and thank you Aaron, and we acknowledge your presence, we acknowledge your wisdom, and we also as we embark on this, we continue to seek the deeper wisdom and understanding and the deliciousness of that which we have just been served. So thank you very gladly and stay ignited.